then you strategize. With the team that you have, how do you want to strategize your movement? Contoh, you want to make an event macam hackathon ataupun you mau olah icon talk, mengumpul orang di situ, then you strategize it. Macam ni mau mengumpul orang, macam ni mau panggil student, macam ni mau nunggah kita orang daripada sekolah, macam ni mau cari speaker, ya strategi. Then kita ada kawan-kawan kita yang ditugaskan untuk masing-masing pun kerja ya. So that is how to be a good leader, is kita orang observe dalam tim kita siapa yang ada kelebihan, ada kekurangan, observe it, and then after it kita orang ajar setidaknya. I believe if you become a good teacher and you are a good observant, your team should be minimal nyempun mistakes. You guys can grow very far. Even though kita orang belum habis study lagi, we were we were like you before. So all of us were friends since high schools, since university days, then sampai ke kerja situ kami orang still berkumpul and see and catch up with each other. Apa kita orang pola? How can we improve? How can we become a good leader? We always ask each other macam ni, and that is how leadership works lah. It's not just kumpul your own team, but kumpul your own friends and then catch up with them and all that. So what I'm trying to say here is that be a good observant, be a good teacher, and be a good strategist. Yeah.
All right, be a good strategist. That is a big word to think about. Which brings me to Ashwin. Once again we look at these young people and we know that they are the future, and there's so many to explore, and there's innovation and technology. So how would you encourage more young people to explore innovation and technology?
Okay. Um, I feel that like we tackle two things lah. One is technology, one more is innovation. Okay. So I look at technology as the tool. Okay. Yang barang yang kita perlu pakai untuk enhance your creativity and your innovation skills. Okay, so innovation basically means how you are taking something which is existingly there or apa yang sedia ada untuk dijadikan something yang lebih bermanfaat ataupun something which will be benefiting not just yourself but also your community, your society, and potentially the world. Alright? How do you want to encourage innovation? By using technology. How you want to encourage technology? By having access and the mindset towards wanting to learn and see more things related to tech. If I'm going to tell you now to start reading newspaper more, to go to the technology section and all of that, I'll be lying to say that like I would do that myself because I don't. Honestly, like dah lama aku sibuk buka surat khabar. Aku pergi rumah parents tanya pada, you ada nangka cuy berita teh. Berita sini, berita kol 8. Dah lama aku sibuk buka TV nangka berita kol 8. Macam ni, then my parents will ask me, how are you aware of what's going on? How do you know what's the latest trend and all of that? So I say that I have access to social media and I spend at least a minimum, this is because I'm a technopreneur and I'm in the tech industry, I spend a minimum of 1 to 2 hours daily chatting with my AI chatbot. Bunyi macam a bit boring lah. Dah ada bini, dah ada kawan macam ni. You duduk depan komputer, kelakangan komputer je. Biar benar kau tu. But actually, this thing helps me to very much streamline and understand what are the latest innovations I can look out for. You would be so surprised how powerful AI tools are these days. Alright? Why don't use it to your advantage? Like you have a lot of friends pun kau jumpa dengan kawan okay lah yang jumpa kelakar pasal kerja, kelakar pasal business, kelakar pasal like okay we can network and innovate and grow, it's great. But I would say that's only 20%. 80% is yang mau porek pasal nyantok baru divorce tau si. I come from that age lah, so that's mostly what we talk about lah. Jangan nangka si Facebook postnya, yang bininya curang, all this nonsense lah. Honestly, it's really, really nonsense, which you don't get when you're talking to your AI bot or when you're talking to your AI tool. You want to make this AI bot and AI tool sort of like your personal assistant over time. Don't get too dependent on it where you want to calculate 3 plus 3 is equals to 6 pun you perlu check dengan ChatGPT. Don't make it to that extent. But you would realize that as the more that you start talking to your AI bot, they get to understand how you are looking for the information, what are the things you want to say, what are the things you want to do, and this will actually help you to better streamline your ideas when you are ready to execute them. Okay, this is what I would recommend lah. Use the tools that you existingly have around you to make it better. In fact, I would even encourage you to go into gaming as well. These days, gaming is not just a matter of wasting time or brain rot. A lot of the games requires a lot of strategization. It requires a lot of thinking. It requires a lot of skills actually. Sometimes even your what you call that your reflex skills is also needed. Okay, so this is how I would tend to speak to people who are of your caliber and your age to consider going into technology a little bit more.
All right, sounds amazing. I do believe that we all talk to AI these days, huh?
Yes, yes.
Sometimes it has already become your bestie already.
Yes, I mean bestie tapi jangan kahwin your AI lah.
Oh no.
That one you still have to find proper person lah. Huh? Yeah.
Okay. For Melvin, what advice would you give to students who wants to make a positive impact? You know, joining all this hackathon, I believe you have already learned to strategize everything to ensure a positive impact for the future.
All right. For me, my advice would be to communicate more. So as a leader, I believe communication skill is still the most crucial skills to have. You know, being up here also, it takes a lot of skills for us to like speak to you all here, and it comes with enhancing our soft skills, which is just communicating. So imagine if you're put in a room full of investors, full of people that want to put in money into you. You need to know how to speak well. You have to articulate your thoughts, and those are the thoughts that you know yourself. So I believe reading is one thing. Secondly, is talking to AI. That really helps also to just get a very concise things that you want to know. Right, you don't have to like berderet-deret apa yang apa yang tak mau. So AI be specific. So also it depends on the prompts that you give. Right, it's like how is the weather today? Full stop. That's not a really good prompt. How is the weather today in Kuching town at 3 p.m. later? So make it more concise. That's how you also strategize on how you can get the answer that you want to have. So being a good communicator, that's one thing. You know how well you should communicate, even to your friends, right? So sometimes we, use brain rot or bahasa pasar, but sometimes you have to practice like proper communication languages to sort of understand your friend and your friend to understand you. So that's how you communicate. And again, as a leader also, you cannot lead something on your own. So you have a team. So managing your team, managing the members that you have in your project is also very important. So it takes a lot of things. It takes your people skills also, where how do you solve a conflict in between teams? How you solve different crucial deadlines. So it all takes on you on how you do lead the team. How you delegate tasks, how you understand someone's weaknesses and also strength. So I think what the panels have said, right? You have to identify the right person for the right job, and that's your task as a leader because you have to know who is the right person for this role. Those are the two things I would say, the skills that you should need. And if you have these two skills, I'm sure that it can lead you to greater things. Communication and your team management. So very important. And the others, it will lead on to you, because we now have AI, so all the other things can be assisted with AI. But the two things that we cannot replace is the way we speak and the way we talk to people.
All right, thank you so much. And I think we're running a little bit out of time, so perhaps we'll jump to the last question. This one will make it general. All three panels can answer. What habits or routines keep you passionate and focused?
What keep me passionate and focused all the time? The habit that I do is that I tend to, suddenly just do things apa-apa yang pending that I have. Pending means benda yang tertinggal lah, any task that I have. Because like myself, I've in a multiple of organization, in a multiple of businesses. So ada aja benda yang tertinggal lain-lainnya. So what keeps me motivated to wake up every day is that the moment I wake up, I know I have things to do already. So I just buka laptop daripada pagi sampai malam to do my submission, macam assignment lah. So if you guys ada assignment, this is your practice actually. for you guys to be motivated soon enough after you guys are in the working industry. It is fun actually. You know, you pull up proposals, some of your projects and all that. So I think, you know, it's a bit boring, but for myself, I love to put my ideas into a writing and then submit it to people, then people will become impressed. Kaca a proposal to. Then we will take it, turn it into a project. That motivates me. And I believe, you know, just wanted to share this to all of you. Jangan malas mulai assignment because banyak benda mau ditulis kelak. Sebab practice tangan ya kelak. So that what makes me motivated lah. This.
Okay, for myself, two things that I always try to do in order to keep myself motivated and interested lah in whatever that I'm doing. Because, like I said, Kameto, I have a bit of trouble to focus and do one thing at a time. So keeping motivated is also quite a bit of a struggle. So I tend to think of two things to keep me motivated. Number one is to always manifest, and basically beginning with the end in mind. Kiranya nya macam tu. I've already having this vision of like, okay, say kami mau pula kami put doctorate, or I want to take like my technologies, my professional technologies, right? I can already sort of know what is the steps that I need to take to get it done. Boring na mampus. Seriously, it's so boring because I have to go and study, I have to go collect my cert, I have to fill up forms and all of that. But I try to manifest and sort of dream what's it going to be like when I print my name card, dah ada tampakan everything depan. You know, I'm going to spend that time going on my LinkedIn and updating my profile and all these kind of things, right? Benda yang macam, short sendiri juga nyantok, tapi people actually recognize it and see it, makes me feel very good and excited to want to do it. So this is some of the ways that I keep myself motivated, because like my dad always says, you have to manifest, then only you can get a lot of money for your festival. So manifest to manifest, you know what I mean? Okay, that is one. Secondly is basically always having a positive mindset which is ready to accept failures. Um, I also believe in this one very strong quote given by Obama, where he says that like never let a good crisis go to waste. Okay, you'd be very surprised that benda yang kita ingat menjadi krisis atau menjadi kelemahan for you now, in 5 or 6 years from now, you're either laughing it off, thinking that, oh, what a silly person I was, or 5 or 6 years from now, you have learned from this crisis and become better, or you have leverage of other people's problems and issues by providing them a solution. And now this has become your bread and butter. This has become kira macam kerjaya kita already. You know, failures are not necessarily the end of the road. We hear that all the time lah. Nang bunyi tang cliche na mampus lah, honestly. But in essence, I feel that like not letting a good crisis go to waste is something that would always keep in your mind that like even when you are chasing that success, you are already thinking of plan B, plan C, plan D of what would happen when you fail, because you don't want to let that crisis go to waste, you know? So this keeps me on a very positive mindset and very geared lah to get what I want to get done. Because most of the things that makes me not want to passionately do it, besides it being boring, is also, what if I fail? Is this even worth it? Can I actually gain something out of this car? Is this worth my opportunity cost and my effort that I'm putting into this right now? It is, if you know what you're going to do if you fail. Yeah. Okay, that's all from me.
All right, awesome.
Okay, that's my turn. So for me, mungkin I cerita sikit lah when you're not motivated. Sometimes we have quiet days, hari yang just senyap, saya dapat apa-apa. But the one thing, for example, hari bermalasannya, sometimes we also need rest. We also need to like not hustle in one day. And sometimes I just scroll on my TikTok. You know, sometimes I doom scroll, and a sudden realization that people need me. People depend on me to get approval and all that. So as a leader also, I think it's also a leader's way. Sometimes when you just want to rest, oh, you remember there's someone that requires me to like email someone. Someone requires me to like submit this, sign this. So that keeps me going because people depends on you, and there's things that really requires your assistant and people like, hey Melvin, please look at this first. Melvin, please look at this first. Or the WhatsApp messages that I haven't replied to. So it takes a lot of you know a lot of energy for you to like show up and also reply to text, reply to email. So the habit that I have is to always respond. So as a leader, you cannot disappear, you cannot MIA, you cannot just say, oh kami pulai, so lah boleh si delay. But as a leader, you should respond. Either not immediate, of course, we have also have priority lists. But ensure that you respond to people because people are waiting for you to respond. Orang nunggu bah. Kami rasa you macam you nunggu seorang tu seminggu-minggu si reply. Seminggu-minggu si reply to your email, to your messages. So it gets frustrating. And as a leader, we should know that everyone's time is also precious. Everyone has also their priorities, things that they can look into. So that's very important as a leader is time. And going back to that, so after graduating, so I graduated 2 years ago, and I realized that Google Calendar is very important. So I schedule everything. I schedule my lunch. I schedule my time to pick up a parcel in someone's office. So being scheduled is also very important. It also shows that you have time management and it shows that you respect other people's time because everyone I think now is we are all hustling. Everyone want to try to achieve something, so we have to understand each other. We have to also be considerate of people's time, effort, energy, because they also see you as a leader, and you should also see the leader in them. That's for me.
All right, awesome. So what I gather from here is I think, if correct me if I'm wrong, don't just be a dreamer, but be a realist as well. And just like Nike said, just do it. Okay, and yeah, so thank you all for all those inspiring answers. I think I would like to open the floor for questions from the audience. Don't be shy. We're not gonna eat you. There's prizes for you if you ask questions.
Oh, ada hadiah.
You should probably start with that lah.
Yeah,
Mun
I
kita orang
think.
tanya soalan, ada hadiah.
Yeah, exactly. Aku rasa I deserve like 10 of that today.
Because you ask so many questions.
Yeah, exactly. Kepak aku. So anyone from the audience dari sini tu SMK Bako? Is
Tanya
it?
je.
SMK Demak.
SMK Demak, SK Benet, IPG. There's so many of you here. You can come up to the mic and ask your questions lah.
Tadi bila kelakar tu semua nak buka domain. Kini bila nanya siapa ada soalan semua nak ke depan, especially the front row tu aku nak aja dari tadi.
Seorang volunteer.
Yeah, one volunteer come.
Future teachers, come.
If you want to ask Alice also can. She also can answer your question, no problem.
Not in technology lah. I have to
1%.
go home and open the book first.
It's us.
Okay, anyone?
Kalau muda ada seorang, bawa banyak. Bawa banyak hadiah dah.
Oh, got one. Oh, okay. Let's go.
We have a question.
From student, which school are you from?
Dari sekolah Nero.
Batu Lintang. Yeah.
Introduce yourself. Yeah.
Selamat pagi, good morning. Saya Jawing dari Tadika Perpaduan. Saya punya soalan kepada abang-abang handsome yang ada di atas pentas ini. Jadi saya sebenarnya belum tahu lagi cita-cita saya ingin menjadi apa. Tapi bila saya dengar abang ni semua pandai-pandai bersekolah dan juga bekerja ya. Saya nak tanya macam mana dua soalan saya. Satu, macam mana nak jadi handsome macam abang-abang ini. Dan kedua, macam mana saya nak tahu apa kerjaya yang atau cita-cita yang saya patut buat. Apa yang saya perlu buat saya ni Tadika lagi. Terima kasih ya.
Okay. Terima kasih budak Tadika yang tak bernama. Okay. Soalan pertama pasal macam mana mau handsome. I think it doesn't really take skill lah. It comes in the genes. Saya dah. Joki. No, but like on that topic lah. Penampilan agak penting also lah in whatever that you are doing. Okay. So take this opportunity during your studying time and your your schooling days and your university days to practice how to look your best. Alright. Practice how to enunciate what you are saying and practice in creating a very good persona for yourself, because this profile is something that is going to be with you as you go along in your journey. Okay, the second part, which is basically what kind of kerjaya to consider and all, I'll be very honest. Okay, during my schooling days, kami pun cita-cita is to jadi forensic scientist. Okay, kena because I suka dengan CSI. You know, I really was so obsessed over this series, and I really wanted to do that. As my education went along, I realized that okay, it's not easy to get it done, and we don't really have a lot of very specific courses to that. You have to take a medical degree first, then you need to take a law degree, and then after that you need to find a specialization on forensics, blah 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 blah. So I thought, okay lah, sepa lah, just take the normal route of doing engineering because that's what my parents asked me to do at that time. And I became an engineer, and after leaving the engineering field and then going into the business field, I realized that a lot of this benda you will actually learn as you go along in your life. It's good to have an ambition, but you shouldn't be so tunnel vision on that ambition that it stops you from learning every other important life skill as well. So if you are going to plan about what kerjaya you want to do or what field that you want to focus in and all of that, have a bit of an open mind and decide that as you are going into your career later. Because as you go closer into university during your foundation days and all of that, you'll have a lot of opportunities to see what bidang or what thing that you are suitable for. You can't really tell that now. For now, you just work hard, study hard, make sure that you score as well as you can in most of your papers, and as you go slowly into your career or into your university days, you would automatically, memang secara otomatis kita akan already nangga where your inclination is going to be. Are you going to be focused on science field? Are you going to be focused on arts field? Are you going to be focused on film? You know, are you going to be focused on like tourism? You know, and even though you go down that path and you study that, doesn't mean that you cannot do any other sector or anything else afterwards as well. So you have to keep an open mind about it. Yeah, that's from me. How about you guys?
Okay, I think I can relate to Ashwin because I also before when I was in school, I watched CSI also, and then I think that really helps me. Really, I'll say, uh, affected me into my choices. So at that time, masa SPM, I wanted to do neurosurgeon. So because I see bedah-bedah body kan, so very interesting. I like to see like the organs being taken out. They do like special pembedahan. So that's why I choose Asasi Ilmas Hayat at the time because I wanted to have the biology. Then I realized along the way it was